In this video, we will travel into space with Anton Hermann from SPACEGOATS. Anton will be sharing some tips, good hacks and interesting workarounds on how you should communicate with Amazon's seller support and how to go through the robots in their system. He will also explain different default settings in a seller account which activated when you start selling on Amazon, but maybe they are not always beneficial for you. Find a special offer for SPACEGOATS in the video's description if you would like to test them and see what they do. They help different Amazon sellers outside Europe to sell their products in European marketplaces without establishing a separate legal entity. And I also want to mention that this video is hosted together with LISETT. She works with different Amazon brands, and if you like content like this, don't forget to click the like button below this video and subscribe to our channel. Hello Anton, it's nice to have you here. Could you please introduce yourself? What do you do in Amazon space and how do you help Amazon sellers?
Hello and good morning, Augustas. My name is Anton Hermann. I'm one of the co-founder of the company SPACEGOATS, and originally I'm a mechanical engineer, but didn't like the engineering world too much. So I started an Amazon business beside my studies, and that worked out pretty well. And then we started a bigger one that worked out even better. And then we realized how, let's say it very kind, how hard it is to sell on Amazon for people who have no idea about selling on Amazon. And that's why we founded a company where we sell products for other sellers on Amazon, which solves various problems, but I guess we will talk about it in the end, right?
Yes. And I think your company's business model is quite unique, where you resell other people's products. So, and what you will be sharing with us today in the presentation?
So, as we sell products for other sellers through our Amazon account, we have a lot of pro tips, hacks, how you talk to Amazon, how you solve various issues, what do you have to take care of. And some of these pro tips I would share with you guys.
Sounds good. A lot of people always sharing just this kind of problems when they share problems. All right. So we're ready to jump to the presentation and let's see what we can learn from you.
Hello and good morning, guys. As I introduced myself already, I will show you some pro tips for Amazon Seller Central this day. And I will start with a kind of a motivation and what is going on here. So we all love Amazon, the biggest marketplace in the world. We all make ton of money with Amazon. But there is this but, this but where you have notification flags, where you have a lot of KPIs which you have to take care of. Amazon blocks your products without any reason, sometimes with a reason, and then they don't unblock it when you even solve the problem. So a lot of stuff which brings frustration, and I do understand it. And that's why I have some quick tips and pro tips to help you out of this. And here's the agenda. So what is going on today? So I would first talk about my, let's say, I would say the most important part of the presentation, that are the Seller Central settings, and especially the Seller Central default settings, because if you don't take care, you can set a wrong setting and it will be irreversible damage for your account, and we want to solve that one. How to communicate with Amazon, what is going on with the brand registry, because the brand registry is a pretty unique, pretty separated universe from the Seller Central, and I would tell you about some rows and what you have to take care of there. And how can SPACEGOATS help you in general? And I would directly deep dive into the first slides, the Seller Central settings. All right. So the first slide, as I said, is like my most, it's the most important for me, because per default, Amazon has a wrong setting in your Seller Central, and everybody should stop the video after the next 30 seconds and check his Amazon Seller Central and disable this setting here. Allow Amazon to buy my product to sell globally, because if you don't, following happens. You allow Amazon, as it stands here, to take your products, to list your products in the countries they want to list it, but with your ASIN, not with a new ASIN, with your ASIN, and sell your products, and you don't even get it, right? You don't even know. So we have clients which had the setting, like, because it's per default activated, like, so you have to deactivate it proactively. And they listed the products, for example, in France, and it never ever heard about it, and then they started to sell through us, through SPACEGOATS, and then they realized, fuck, I have 2 bad reviews, 1-star reviews in France, because my manual, my user manual was not in French. Of course it was not, because the product designed for Germany and not for France. So that's why it was not in the right language, and he got bad reviews. Of course the product is that, you know, you cannot do a lot when the product starts with 1, 2, 3, 4 1-star reviews, and you totally miss the, if you believe in it, you totally miss the honeymoon phase and all you and everything else. So don't give away the control about your products, because Amazon does not care about your products. When you get a bad review, they will not command it as you would do. They will not try to delete it, because they don't care. So please use this one. It's very, very important. So the next setting is the cross-border fulfillment settings, pan-European FBA. Of course, everybody should know, if you activate it, you're in that game, and you need all this VAT numbers already prepared, because before that you are not allowed to store goods in other countries. So basically what happens when you enable it is that the products will go to directly be shipped from Amazon to another warehouses all over Europe. And when you sell a product from another warehouse, like from another country, to an end customer, you need to pay the VAT in the country where the product was shipped from. So you need the VAT number, and that's not activated by default, of course not. But when you activate it, please be very, very careful that you don't do too much damage here. The next one is automated listing creation. It's not as bad as the first point I mentioned, but it's also you also give away control from your site to Amazon. Means when you what this setting means is, when you list a product and you get stock on the product, then Amazon will try to list the products in all countries where the ASIN already exists, or create an ASIN. So you just give away the control about the product, writing rights, so the editing rights, and you never want to give away this editing rights to Amazon, because Amazon will not give them away as easy as it should be. So when you activate this and some shit happens, then you always need to open up a support to change a title, to change like little details, and you don't want to give away this control. So that one is not too important. It just says where you store the goods. So in all these countries, you need basically a VAT number. And this one, maybe don't know what this is about. The optional services, MWS label service enabled, means not that Amazon always will label your products. It's a bit confusing here. It doesn't mean that Amazon will label your product always. It only means that you accepted the conditions that Amazon can do that for you. So when you don't have enabled this option, Amazon will not give you the option when you do a shipping plan, for example, and you only have EAN on your product and you want to label with an FN SKU. And this one is also a bit confusing. Web services default labeling preference. FBA should label my items. However, I will label items as necessary, means following. When you ship goods to Amazon and you have a wrong label on your goods, for example, no, not an FSQ, just an EAN and so. You basically allow Amazon to fix your fault by over-labeling it, okay? So when you send products with the wrong label, Amazon will label it and charge you afterwards. So that's very important that you have this one, because you never know what kind of label you will get from your supplier. One day there is always this 1% chance, and then you have big troubles. All right, the next slides. As it is a online thing, you can just take screenshots, you can just pause and enjoy this the setting stuff. That's why I directly showed you screenshots and not some very nice designed stuff that you will find it. So furbishing settings, furbish unsellable customer returns. Again, the same point. What is the problem is that you give Amazon the control of doing stuff for you and you don't know that they are doing it. So that's why it is disabled. Means when you have a return and the return is kind of not sellable, again, Amazon will try to sell it, to try to furbish it and bring it back for selling, but they often do it not good enough, and then you get again returns, and then you have like a return cycle, and then your product gets blocked because you have too many returns, only because Amazon is selling always the same stuff which they refurbished just in a bad way. So please disable this one. You never want to give control away to Amazon. Same for this one, automated unfulfillable removals. That I would definitely disable this one, because you have no control when this stuff is going to happen. Same for the automated long storage removals. Then Amazon will destroy products and you don't even know about it. And that in that term, we have a new setting here in the Amazon Seller Central inventory management, fixed stranded inventory. So there you can set this stuff. That you have the control about it, all right? And so always when a product is not active, okay, when you just close the listing, when you just close it, okay, then the product comes into the fixed stranded inventory stuff. So and then the stuff will happen what you have in the settings. For example, you close a product just because for, I don't know, nearly out of stock reasons, and because you have this settings set here, the Amazon will after 14 days, 30 days just destroy your products which you just wanted to sell a few weeks later. So just take care of this one. And that's like when you push the button here, edit automatic action settings, you come to this one. And it shows you very good that closing a listing is not enough. It will automatically relist, or it will automatically be removed. Okay, so if you just close a listing, it's not enough. If you want to stop selling it for a long time, you have to close it, and you have to put a launch date and a start of the selling date to the future. Otherwise, Amazon will relist it or send it to you back. Depends on the settings you have here. Then next, it's kind of a quick tip. Check user permission on a regular basis. With a regular basis means on a weekly or 2 weekly basis when you have employees which needs this permissions as well. Sometimes I have to give myself permissions because they will not you will not get them automatically. It's not the first user of an account. So that you're very, let's say, that your employees can get the best out of your account. They need all the permissions, so please take care of this one. There's a new feature. It's called Listing Quality Dashboard. It's not too complicated, self-explanatory. So what it basically shows you are the products, your products where you don't have all the data set in the back end, in the listing back end. Means it shows here that you could enter a size, you could enter a color, you could enter a taste, you could enter whatever, and that helps you selling products to people who are using filters. Okay, you have the filter bar on the left when as a buyer, as an Amazon buyer, and when you hit some filters and you don't have this information in your backend, then you will just disappear. So Amazon, in this case, they want the best for you, but of course not all these recommendations are logical. But try to don't have listings here in the quality control dashboard. So the next one, it's also kind of new stuff, is Amazon subscribes all the products you have in your account, which are able for subscribe and save automatically. Means it's an opt-out thing. It wasn't, and it was an opt-in thing. So you had to subscribe your products for this program, but now Amazon does it automatically and you have to remove it. It's not a bad thing that it happens, but you should be aware of it, right? So if you are selling products where you don't have enough goods or enough stock, or where you would where you want the product to die and not reorder, it's not logical, of course, to do a subscribe and save option, because subscribe and save means it's kind of an abonnement, like you're booking the product and you will get it in a fixed interval. And when you don't have stock, then you cannot send the client the product in this interval, and then you get problems with Amazon. So I don't say you have to remove it, but be aware that Amazon is doing it, okay? Then next one, everybody is afraid of this one, but you can do something for your inventory performance index. The first two things are pretty obvious: excess inventory. So if you have too much, like excess inventory is inventory which is older than 180 days, I mean, yes, or 190 or something. But not only this one, all inventory which is older than 90 days is bad inventory for Amazon, right? So just take care that you don't have too much inventory which is more than 90 days. And then the sell-through rate, just sell more, that's easy. Stranded inventory, what I showed you like 3 or 4 slides before. So when you have stock but not an active listing, Amazon does not like it at all. So just take care that you don't have too much of this one. And the next one, it's kind of a secret tip, secret hack. In stock inventory means you always need to have enough inventory in stock, otherwise you also get punished. But when you have a product which is supposed to have inventory and you don't have it, then it's bad. But if you have for example, if you have a product which you never ever want to sell again, then please delete it. Otherwise, it will harm your in-stock inventory as well. So all the listings which you don't want to restock again, just delete them. It will push this in-stock inventory also a bit up. Okay, then the next chapter is how to communicate with the Amazon support. Everybody loves it, or let's say the opposite, but everybody has to do that. And here I have some basic rules how we do it. Like basic rules, everybody should know it. It's common sense, but still, it's need to be mentioned here. Never trust the first answer. Why? The people in this Amazon support, they get reviews by you, right? So as you get product reviews, the people in the Amazon seller support get also reviews, and that's why you have to care, because they will tell you anything that they can farm a review. So never trust the first answer, especially if it's a business impacting decision, right? So just double or triple check, escalate it to a second, third level support, but never ever trust the first answer as it is written in a book, right? Very important thing, because I heard that it was not. Yeah. Next one, checkmark urgent issue that impacts your entire business. If you don't checkmark this one, your Amazon support ticket cannot go to the technical support. It's just not technically possible, right? So please checkmark always this one, but not you should use it as always, even if it's not impacting you, because if everybody does it, then this feature will not be as important anymore. So for the next one, for each issue, one ticket means if you have like a big problem, then separate it in little issues and use different tickets for it. Otherwise, maybe you noticed it already. So often the answer from the Amazon support is just to the first question of this ticket. So for each question, one ticket, please. Reopen tickets instead of opening new ones. You have when Amazon answers you on a ticket and close it, then you have like I think 2 days or 3 days to reopen the ticket. That the same person which closed it will get this notification again. So if you don't use the 3 days, so if you let it pass, or if you open a new ticket, then you start like with 0 again. So just keep this 2 or 3 days. then you have less iterations of your question solving. Short answers with least complexity you can possibly imagine, right? So it has to be as easy as possible, but it's common sense. Same as be polite, that are humans, and they don't want to harm you. They don't want you some bad for you. Maybe they are not always as competent as you are. But if you are more polite, I have no proof for it, but then I think that you get better treated than if you are not polite. So that are the 6 quick tips. And here is another one for, I told you when you lost your writing rights, we talked about the writing rights a few minutes ago, then you always have trouble to change your listing data, like photos, like text, like whatever. And often, maybe you had it already in the past, Amazon wants a proof of manufacturer. So they want a proof that you are the person, you are the company which should be allowed to change stuff in the listing. And there are various options. We tried them all, but what works the best for us is you build a storefront on your website. It doesn't have to be public, searchable. You just need this link, and you put all your products with exactly the data, exactly the listing data which you want to put to Amazon. Then you just send the link as proof of manufacturer. It's the easiest way, and then they see, okay, yeah, that's a manufacturer. Okay, that's a brand site. This pictures, this text, whatever. Yeah, check, accepted, and then you have less trouble to prove that you are the listing owner, even if you are the brand owner. Saves a lot of time. And then a very deep hack, it's called Pass the Machine with Chinese. That's Chinese and Chinese. What we realized, I don't know how long this hack will work, but what we realized is that the first Amazon support is always first level, and it's always not worth to read it, right? Because the answer is always generic, and that's why, and that's because it's mostly made by a machine. Okay, so it screens your Amazon ticket, and then it shows, okay, here is this word, and probably he wants this answer. But of course, the easy answers you know already, but the complex ones you need people for. And that's why we realized that you can just put a line of Chinese, Spanish, Italian, whatever other language, because then the algorithm gets confused and you directly pass the machine and get a real person. But I don't know how long this is going to work, but yeah, that's kind of a cool hack.
I have to show that I'm laughing.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but it works. It's so cool. Yeah, and then we have the next chapter is the brand registry world, and here I have also an hack or a tip for you which can save your life, not life, but at least the performance of your products. After this one. So first of all, there are hidden roles at Amazon. Okay, what means hidden roles? They are not standing anywhere. So you only get it when you open up support ticket after support ticket, and then you combine the stuff. But here are you have to separate between user types and user roles. So you can be a user, and you have roles for various brands, right? So first of all, you have the rights owner. That's like a natural person which owns the brand and is kind of god of the brand, and and it works same as 2 and 3. So you can do everything what you want with the rights owner stuff, but only in combination with one of these. So you always have one of the left side and one of the right side, okay? And the best combination is a rights owner plus brand representative, and you can only have one of this kind. So this person, and now I have to check which features exactly there are. This person can do everything possible with the brand, like subscribing for a Wine program, subscribing for EBC, A+ content, whatever, brand store and anything you can imagine, but not the not the other guys, but the other roles. So a registered agent is just a person which is allowed to open up cases for violating your brand, right? And an admin can do the role and user administration, but it's also not the same. So on the right side, you have the user roles, and it was like, hey, Amazon support. Why, even if we have all the brand rights, why we cannot open up? Why we cannot do wine testers? Why we cannot do A+ content? Why we cannot do sponsored brands? Okay, it's because you're lacking roles. So you have to open up tickets to get these roles when you have issues like that. For example, we had all the brand rights, all imaginable, because the roles are not standing anywhere. They're just hidden. Okay, so we had I don't know how many brands on our account, and it was like, we are the guys who are allowed to use the brand stuff, but we couldn't do A+ content, and we couldn't do Vine, and it was like a journey of half a year to realize what is going on there, and that's because we were lacking the catalog contributor or the brand representative role. So if you have this issue, open up. I talked too much about this topic. Open up a case and ask for one of these roles. Next one, and that's the second important slide on this presentation. Keep brand and seller account separated. It's so important. It's so important. We see it every day that people are doing it wrong. Almost all people are doing it wrong. What does it mean? You have your seller account and you have the brand registry, and most people use the same email and same company, whatever, for these two logins. But when you log in, or when your seller account is blocked, your brand registry is also blocked, and you cannot do all this stuff anymore, what I showed you in the hidden role stuff. You are just, yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to get these roles back as soon as you get your seller account back. And as we know, many seller accounts are blocked forever. And what we are doing at SPACEGOATS, of course, we are selling also products for people which where the seller accounts got blocked, and we have these issues then. Okay, we have these issues then that we don't get this rows, we cannot do changes on the listing, we cannot upload new products. So much trouble, which can be solved by one little detail. Use another email account, use another email address for your brand registry than for your seller account. You cannot switch it back anymore. If it's one time done, then you are forever done, right? So do it from the beginning correct. All right, and that's kind of Amazon Inside stuff. Brand is not the same as a brand, so at the moment, practically it is like this. We tested it. If you have a, let's say, German brand, like just a national brand, you can upload A+ content even in another country, so you don't have this brand. Okay, that's the practical approach. That's actually possible. But as Amazon says it, absolutely the opposite way around. So we had a webinar with Amazon, and they said, like, if you don't have a European, let's say European brand, you're not even allowed to upload A+ content in one country, right? So it's the opposite, and it will come. It will come because Amazon says it will come, so it will just come. That's like the first thing. Always register from now on a European brand and not a national brand. It's costs like, I guess, 900 euros or something. I always compare it with Germany. It's like 300 euros. So, but it's a good investment for the future, and it can solve many issues with your brand registry stuff, because you also, when you register a brand at Amazon Brand Registry, you also chose if you have a DPMR, it's like the German office, or you have a European one, and it's also irreversible, so you cannot turn it back again. So do it in the first place correctly. The next one is get a legal brand representative. What means is a lawyer, like the guy on the right, because in Amazon USA, Amazon.com, it already started that you cannot register a brand without a lawyer behind it anymore, like a brand representative. So it can also happen here, because always the same, what happens in the USA comes to Europe someday. So when you want to solve issues for the future, just get an online brand representative which can help you to register the brand. You have less work and you are safe for the future. And this 200 euro could save your brand on Amazon, you know, because you cannot fix this issue later on. Okay, so that was the content part. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for attention so far. Now I would tell 2-3 minutes about what is SPACEGOATS doing and how can SPACEGOATS help. So what is SPACEGOATS doing? I told already. We are selling products from other Amazon sellers or other companies, brand owners, whatever, through our Amazon account, and that European-wide. It solves various problems. First one is you don't need your own Amazon account. Means if you don't have an Amazon account, if your Amazon account is blocked, then you can just sell through us all over Europe. I told you about the pan-European stuff enabling. You don't need that one as well. So you can sell all over Europe without even having any VAT number in other countries, right? And if you want to change your form of legislation, or how it's called, the company type, you always get some trouble with Amazon switching the company type from a person company to a public company, whatever. Then you can also come to us for these days, as long your account is like in the transition phase, and you will not lose any revenue. And now the marketing slide, sorry for that one. So we are automating Amazon distribution, means you give us your products and we sell it through us, and you can track it with the software, do the adjustments as you want, but can book services where you don't know how it works, for example, translation. So what you don't need is a VAT registration, you don't need a billing because we do it, you don't need to invoice the end client, you don't need to talk to the end customer because we are doing it, and all the stuff below that, what we were above that, what we are talking about the last minutes, it's also not your problem anymore because we are taking care of all this Amazon support stuff. And here some visualization. I don't want to make it too long. Here's the difference. You're the guy on the left. Your revenue is the thing in the right, and this in the middle are all the stuff you have to take care of. With SPACEGOATS, you don't need to take care of anymore. The money gets bigger. The guy gets happier, and that was my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you got at least 1 or 2 little tricks which you can use in your daily business. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Anton. Lisette, do you have any questions?
Of course I have. So let's maybe start with the first topic you shared with us, which were the settings. You said yes. It's a good idea to disable the global shipping settings, but when it's a good idea to activate that?
Never. It's just never a good idea to give control away from your... For this few euros, let's say it like this. You have a product, it's running so good in Germany because you put all your energy, all your knowledge into that, right? So it's launched, okay? Then let's say you have pan-European program and you do the same, and it's just flying through Europe. And Amazon just thinks, oh, it's a good product. Let's list it on Amazon.com, for example. And then you list, and Amazon lists it on Amazon.com, Amazon Japan, what the fuck ever, and you just don't know it. And then 2 years later, you want to sell on Amazon.com, and your product is already listed there with bad reviews. The launch is lost. There's no launch phase anymore. So it's never a good idea to give control away to Amazon, because Amazon is a system and not a human.
Okay, that's a good takeaway for the sellers, because I know a lot of sellers do not look into the settings, so it's definitely good to emphasize that. So yes. Let's go forward to the communication part. There is this seller support, which sellers can access through Seller Central, but there is also brand registry support. So yes. When should sellers reach out to support via brand registry?
It used to be in the past that the brand registry support was just a seller support and better, but it turned not to be like this anymore because people were like raping this feature. So now it is all the brand issues you go to the brand support, the seller issues like stock issues and stuff, you go to the seller support. Otherwise, the brand support will just take you to the seller support anyhow. So yeah, I know it was a hack to use always the brand support, but in my opinion, it's not a hack anymore. And if we rape it even more, then it will get worse. So use the right support for the right ticket. Okay.
So does that mean that the seller should use brand registry support to assign those hidden roles you were showing us
For
before?
example, yeah, all brand related stuff, like if somebody's using your brand, your pictures, all that stuff, the brand registry support is awesome. They are taking care of you. They have new features where you can just upload what is wrong. There you can just enter an ASIN, and then it will pop up with the product, and then you can say this picture is wrong, this picture is mine, and then you can upload the proof of it. It's awesome for that, all that issues like the role modeling, but not for the like FBA stuff. So okay, sorry, one thing, you can use it for listing issues as well. That's
okay. So for listing issues, like for example, I know a lot of sellers have been having troubles updating their listing. For example, if they change their photos actually won't change. So what is the best and most efficient way to do those kind of changes, and how they could get help from Amazon?
Yes, I had a slide exactly for this question. It's the proof of manufacturer stuff, because you want to change the listing and it is not changing. And then you ask Amazon, can you change it? They say, well, maybe not. But if you have the proof of manufacturer directly ready, you can just send them the link. Hey guys, you need to change it. Why? I have this on my storefront. That's the proof of manufacturer. Just do that, right? And then they will check your website and say, okay, I will do that. Okay, that's the easiest way, but the biggest setup in the beginning. But for us, it's of course worth, because we are managing thousands of ASINs. For us, it is worth. We have like this storefront anyhow, but it could be worth to implement it on your website.
Okay, and that, if I understand correctly, then that link could be included right in the first ticket already when you make the initial request, right?
Yes, exactly.
So sellers have been having troubles deleting negative seller feedback that Amazon doesn't want to take away, and they are closing the case already like within a couple of hours. So do you have any tip what to do in that case?
The hack is always when you use the case ID or the review ID, the feedback ID, the algorithm is scanning it. Yeah, you have no right because you scanned it already. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of the number or of the feedback which you want to be deleted, and then send it with a logical explanation to the Amazon support. Otherwise, an algorithm will scan it. So yeah, that's the hack.
Okay, awesome. I think that will be helpful for the sellers for sure.
Great.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much, Anton, for your nice language and nice hacks.
Oh,
and
thank you very much.
And one more time, how can people reach out to you, and how can you help them?
Yes, so SPACEGOATS.io, we have actually a cool new website launched not a long time ago. You can also write me personally, Anton at SPACEGOATS.io, and we help you if you have issues with the Amazon account and you want to sell on Amazon, even if your account is blocked. When you want to sell internationally, doesn't matter where you come from. For example, if you're an American whatever seller and you want to sell in Europe, we are your partner. And if you are not allowed to sell on Amazon, e.g. if you are a brand owner and you have like your distribution network already, but your distribution partner do a very bad job, as it often happens with your products, and list your products on Amazon in a very, very, very bad way, then you have all these issues which we were talking about, with brand growth and whatever, then we can do it for you. So you will never be on the storefront somewhere, you will never be on the bill to the end customer, so you can hide yourself behind SPACEGOATS.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
You too, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you.
If you would like to try and check SPACEGOATS service, find the link below in the special offer that gives you the first month completely free, below in the description. And now I would like to recommend you to watch other video with Anton, where he explains how you can run Amazon business on European marketplaces without dealing with multiple VAT registrations, tax declarations, accounting, or any other administrative tasks. So check this out.